America, it's time to listen up. The Biden administration and all the Democrats are punishing Africa for staying true to their culture, and I have the facts. In lieu of Uganda passing an anti-LGBTQ bill, the Biden administration canceled some visas of the African country's parliament members. America owes Africa a swift apology, and they should get it now. The sad truth to this matter is that the African American voters did this. Don't go away just because I said that. Democrats that they voted in are going rogue to what they really believe. The Democrat Senate majority and the Democrat Congress, along with Joe Biden, have gone all blitzkrieg on Africa over human rights. Yeah, go figure that one out. America lecturing Africa on human rights? What? Once again, another outright bad move by the Democrats, but they're used to it. But the Republicans are not going to put up with this evil conspiracy to fumigate the world with this toxic perversion. And luckily, the Republicans won the majority in the Congress to keep the Equality Act from passing as well. Equality Act. Oh, you don't want equality, you racist, bigot, white supremacist, you hate group. No, Americans want equality, but not the way the Democrats regurgitate it. Equality Act, it sounds like such a nice and loving name for a bill, right? But here's what they do. Let the letter R stand for equality. We show you the letter R. So we'll look at it and say, yes, we see it, but because you didn't observe it closely, you've been played, and you went ahead and ate a P, which stands for poison, along with the rest of the R's. Well, let me give you the poison of the bill. May I? The Equality Act, if I condense it for you, currently under consideration in Congress, would place sexual orientation and gender identity into the U.S. Civil Rights Code as a protected class along with race, national origin, veteran status, and others. This would make any disagreement with the sexual ideology considered illegal discrimination by parents in schools, in doctor's offices, on sports teams, in the marketplace, in any public place, and even in churches and faith-based schools or other organizations. It's the most dangerous legislation we've ever seen out of Congress. In a stunning act of administrative action, the Biden administration has now, without real authority to do so, rewritten Title IX to require public schools across the United States to validate gender identity. That means bathrooms, locker rooms, and school teams no longer must conform to children's real biological sex as male or female. It's a sad irony given that Title IX was originally enacted, the Equality Act, to ensure that girls had equal access to educational and athletic opportunities with boys. Now let's just take a look at who's doing this, shall we? Congress.gov, Equality Act. Who's sponsoring the bill? 214. The LGBTQ bill is what it should be. 214 members of Congress are sponsoring this bill. Wow. Congress has 222 Republicans plus 2 delegates and the resident commissioner of Puerto Rico. Congress also has 213 Democrats plus 3 delegates and 1 vacant seat. So out of the 214, how many were Republicans and how many were Democrats? Let's take a look at this equality bill and who's voting for it. You see the D here? That means Democrat. If you see an R, that's a Republican. And it's all Democrats. All 214 has signed up to push this thing through. Has the U.S. government thrown African Americans into the LGBTQ box? Well, of course they have. If you don't vote Democrat, you ain't black.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do.
And he got 87% grade on his test, which is 87% of the vote of the African Americans, which is quite high for someone who shows signs of dementia. But nonetheless, have the Democrats put African Americans in the same category as LGBTQ because they're supposed to be pushing for African Americans, black Americans, but they're not. They're pushing for LGBTQ, and they're making sure you go in the same box. It's obvious what they've done. You can hear them start talking about it, start reading things closer, and hearing things a little more clearly.
Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch. Have a terrific day.
I'm a bar owner now. Are we going to have the most popular beers in the thing? Yes. Here's the deal, man. If you want to come to Friends and Low Places, come in. But come in with love. Come in with tolerance, patience. Come in with an open mind. And it's cool.
Nashville marketing executive Bill Fletcher says the whole country seems to be engaging in the same heated conversation.
With Kid Rock, you have this dark, angry, finger-pointing, shooting a gun at a Bud Light can. And Garth Brooks is hey, I love everybody, and openness and acceptance. And I think it's what you've seen in the country, going back to African Americans, to gay people. Well, now it's transgender.
Here on Broadway, we're fans.
Notice how Democrats and African Americans and LGBTQ are linked together, all in the same conversation, slipped in so it's hardly recognizable. This wouldn't stand a chance in Africa. As Ms. Museveni calls them, Africans or continental Africans wouldn't put up with this at all. None of these shenanigans would work in Africa like they're working against Democrat Americans. Equality, yes, we all want equality, but I like to believe that 99% of the people in the world are good. And I believe we're all created equal and deserve equal treatment regardless of race, religion, ethnicity. But don't tell us that equality is being able to act however you want to without taking responsibility for your choices and actions. Equality is being born a man or a woman, black or white, and those biological genes and that factor into your existence. You know, that's equality. Treat them all the same. You were born. You have rights as any other person in this world does. You get human rights, but you also get human choices, which means that your body and mind are going to make some choices on their own. And if those choices are against the law, then it's a bad choice to do it. The government will enforce its laws on you if you choose to disobey them. And God will enforce his laws later when you die, whether the government said it was okay or not. Human rights used to mean something to people. Equality used to be a powerful word that carried weight. But these words have become tools of deception and spewed as weapons to try and devalue God's meaning of them, or man's meaning of them. But they won't succeed. They can't because our God never fails. Those are just my thoughts. Let me know your comments below, and let's see if we can get this world's sanity restored again together. Thank you all for watching. We love you.